Some eyes there. Okay, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. All right, we're going to go over our materials and we'll get going. So, thank you for being here. And yeah, so our scrap of the month this November, old magazines. If you have any newspapers, I went through my recycling. Unfortunately, I had no other paper. But if you've got old receipts, old envelopes, any kind of paper lying around will do. And we're going to be making our postcards. So we need our magazines. If you have, I was going through my freezer and I got this nice cardboard, very thin cardboard box. A thick paper will do as well. We got that. Scissors for any collage work, always a good idea. If you've got a glue stick, excellent, go for it. I'm going to be making my own glue with flour, just a little bit of flour and a little bit of water. Yeah, I've been enjoying making my own glue, so I'm going to go with that. And if you want any kind of pencils, coloring pencils, you don't have to have them, but if you do have, those are always good. And markers and a pen, either or. I think that's it. Yes, so I'm going to explain briefly collage because that's kind of the medium that we're going to be using to make our postcards this month. So I've got an old example here, and I sort of ripped up some images that I liked and put them together, glued them together. So this is obviously a big piece. Our postcard is going to be a little bit smaller than that, but just to give you an idea of what collage work can look like. These are just examples. We've got one here. People have added some words. So if, I gotta go this way. People have added some words there as well. So if you want to mix images and words, go for that. And then we have a mix here where we've got some words, some beautiful colors. It looks kind of like a watercolor potentially. And I guess no images, just words and watercolor. So, oh, and then this is one of my favorites. I said no. So if you have a 2-year-old or just somebody with really good boundaries, I always find this one amusing. So that's collage. It's just ripping up different images, different words, and gluing them together on a piece of paper. So, oh, excellent. Okay, I see Joanna's on the background saying hi to everyone. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Joanna and Maite. Excellent to have you guys with us. Yes, any questions so far about our materials? Anyone? Hello? You can always just type them in, and Joanna's there answering questions as well in case I get distracted by collaging. And yeah, we're going to start, and then I'll tell you a bit more about why we're creating postcards as we go along. So we're going to start with our piece of cardboard or thick paper, and we're just going to cut out a postcard. So a postcard is generally about that big compared to my face. I'll show you in the carton. That might help a little bit as well. So we're going to start cutting. And it's a little tricky, I'm realizing. So I'm going to do a kind of rough cut and then go in and make it a little prettier. So, all right. That's roughly the size of a postcard. And like you see, it was a rough cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm gonna make it a little prettier and cut off the edges. You don't have to worry so much about the size of your postcard. If you end up making one that's bigger than this, smaller than this, it's just kind of a gauge. And I realized, see, I went into, there's a little foldy part. So mine is gonna be, I guess, a little small, but that's okay. Okay, so there we go. I've got my postcard size. I'm trying not to be perfectionist about it. I'm going to be okay with the size of this. And if you're more than one person tuning in, then just keep going. Keep cutting a couple of postcards. I might do one more just in case I want to create more than one and send out as many postcards as I can, especially in these, we're going into the darker months of the year. And yeah, I just love receiving mail. It always brings a little bit of light into my world. So again, I did a rough cut. So I'm going to go in again and just make these little bits. And we're going to just make it a little straighter, as straight as possible. If you got a ruler and a pencil and want to go with that, oh, look at that, I made it smaller than the first one. My postcards are going to be very tiny and cute. So I've got my the base of my postcard, and yeah, we're gonna collage on top. Oh no, we're gonna collage on this part. Okay, so not this part, because this is the part we're gonna write on. Right, so keep the clear one, and then we're gonna collage onto what appears to be the ingredients of my rolls. Okay, so we've got those. In terms of the image on your postcard, it really depends what kind of magazines or newspapers or old paper you have. It can just be kind of an actual collage, a mix of different images. Maybe there's colors that you're flipping through. I've got this beautiful blue here. Some kind of, oh, I think it's a blue whale. Getting distracted. And it could just be, yeah, it could be words that I find inspire me and I want to collage that out. So it's really up to you in terms of what you want your collage to look like. Do you want to just go with the flow and make a bunch of colors together, or do you want to have it sort of tell more of a story? Okay, does that make sense? Any questions? Other questions so far? Don't be shy if ever I'm going too fast or if I miss something, or you're like, can you repeat that step? I'd be more than happy to do that. So this is kind of my favorite part. And honestly, I haven't had the best day, so I'm just really excited to start ripping through my magazine. It's my little therapy. And I personally, this is my style, I just like flipping through and seeing what kind of catches my eye. I rip it out. If you're more of a scissors person, you can also cut it out if you want to be more precise. But I just generally really love the sound of ripping. So I'm going to do that. This is obviously a big piece, so if I look at that, it's going to take up my whole page. But we'll just rip up a few and then go from there. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to look through and gather all the images that inspire us. Sorry, I just have to share this amazing picture of this ginormous tree. That one I think I'm going to leave because it's just too beautiful to rip. But there's a bunch of, oh, there's a little bear. He's got a sad face, maybe not. Yeah, just, oh, there's already one ripped. So a lot of blue going on right now for me. Okay. And what I'm also thinking about when I'm going through is why we're creating postcards. So I don't know if you had the chance to see the launching of our Gratitude Quest Part 2, writing gratitude letters. So we're just encouraging everyone to write a letter of gratitude to someone you know or you met once, or you know you were friends a long time ago and maybe aren't so connected right now, and you want to write them a little thank you for a little thing that they did. Maybe they, you know, showed up at your house with a bowl of chicken soup when you were sick at some point, or they took care of your kids when you really didn't needed a day off or a night off. Yeah, whatever kind of comes to mind. If you have a person that you're thinking of and you just want to send them a letter, yeah, we thought postcards is also a really fun way to send out a little bit of gratitude. I don't always have the right words or the sort of energy to write a whole letter, but a postcard you can just write thank you and send it to the person. You can even just draw a little picture and have your postcard on this side. So, or I've done this before too, where I have a little piece to write on and then I end up writing a very long letter in a very small space. So that can also be a really fun way to send out gratitude. So yeah, just spending a little bit of sending out a little bit of gratitude to all the people that we're thinking about these days. And yeah, excellent. I'm just gonna rip. And I think I need another picture to brighten up my picture a little bit. So let's see. Ooh, I've got this very beautiful octopus. And I like this pink reddish thing he's got going on. So yes. All right. So if you can see, if I put it down a little bit, actually I'm just gonna, oh, that works. Okay, so you can see a bit more. Yeah, I've got this blue and pink thing going on for my postcard. I don't know if I'm gonna create an actual image. I might find a word. Maybe I'll have a word to mine. So I'll do a kind of, I'll just gently place them, not really committing to any kind of placement, but just seeing, yeah, it's kind of, this inspires me. A little mix. Oh, you can't see. That helps. And I'm gonna find a word. Now, honestly, I don't have the person in mind that I'm gonna send this postcard to. So I'm gonna create it. And then see who I want to send it to. Maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you have somebody in mind and you're like, oh, you know what? They would really like the picture of a palm tree or something like that. And especially if you're working with, sorry, I'm just gonna rip. If you're working with newspaper, and so maybe it's a bit more muted, the colors aren't as bright as a magazine. Those are really fun if you do have any colored pencils or maybe pastels, to add a little bit color if you want after you've collaged your newspaper. So you can feel that out. Though I do like the black and white look. If you joined us for Scrap of the Month when we did jars, well, lanterns made out of jars. I really enjoyed using newspaper to create a kind of black and white motif. So, you know, and I just got this beautiful wolf here. And he's, yeah, just really inspiring me. I think there's something really special about him coming through the trees and having this like little peekaboo moment. So when I think of gratitude of like, hello, little somebody checking in. He's got this smirky little smile too. I don't know if you can see that. Just really sweet. Yeah. Okay, I've got a palm tree and a wolf. I'm not sure how they go together, but we'll try it out. Okay, so if you're still ripping up images and kind of starting to place it together, excellent. I'm gonna start making my glue. So if you have a stick of glue or white glue, excellent. Yeah, I've just really gotten into the habit of creating my own glue because it's fun and I don't always have glue on hand. So I have some water here and I got a little piece of paper in there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I've got my all-purpose flour here. Any flour will do to make glue. And so I'm just going to put that down. And I'm gonna add my flour to it. I'm realizing I should have put something down on the table to avoid this mess, but it's not the end of the world. I'll just wash it up later. So I'm adding a little bit because I had a bit of water in there. Yeah. And now I have a not so great paintbrush. So I'm pretty sure I left it in glue at some point. So it's very stiff. And I'm using a not so great paintbrush because glue just is sticky and it's not, if you have a really nice paintbrush, I would suggest just using that for painting. So this is kind of the consistency of my glue. I have a lot here, so this will definitely be enough for my two. And yeah, it has a nice smell. I like it. All right, so I've got my glue. And depending on what kind of person, if you like planning your collage, go for it. I generally like starting, I'm gonna bring it down again. Maybe I'll just leave it there. Okay, so I've got my paper here. I've got some flour, and I'm just gonna go on with my flour glue, or if you have your stick glue, and just go and start adding it. And what I really love about collaging is I find it really soothing. Just a fun activity to do when it's raining or snowing or hailing or all three. We are going into November, so it's very, very possible. And yeah, what I'm gonna start doing, I'm just gonna go in with my red here, add a little bit of blue, and just keep going for there. You'll notice you might kind of go over the edge of your postcard. That's okay if you want to really take your time and avoid that. You know, it's your time. That's all good. I typically kind of go over edge and then just go over with my scissors at the end to cut it off. That's just how I do it. So I'm gonna keep on going and just collaging. And you'll notice that I'm going over. I did my initial coat of glue and I'm just going over with my brush. Every time I add a piece, I'm going over, and yeah, just to make sure everything sticks in place. And when I was talking about writing a gratitude letter before, so I'll write one on my postcard and probably write a longer letter as well. One thing that we've been really excited about with Literacy in Action with this project is our scribing service. So if you're intrigued and wanna write a letter, but you're not really sure how, I know sometimes when I'm worried about making a spelling mistake or I'm not sure how to write something, I sometimes just don't do it. And that's where we can come into play. You can just give us a call, 819-346-7009, and we can just work on your letter with you. And if you're really not comfortable writing a letter, but you want to send out some gratitude, hello, then you can just tell us over the phone what your message is. And what I can do and or Joanna can do when we answer the phone is we can just write it out for you and then send it on your behalf. And yeah, it's just all the ways that we can send out gratitude. We just got to get creative with it and do that. So really excited about that. If you need a stamp for your letter or for your postcard, oh no! Oh no, I made a mistake. Oh, that's hilarious. I'll finish my thought. If you want any of those materials, if you need stamps, just give us a ring, and we'll happily send those along. So if you'd made the same mistake as me, join the club. I got really concerned about people being able to see the postcard, but you see what I did there? I got to be painting on this side because right now then I won't be able to write my message on this side. So this is just going to be a collage, and I'll put that aside. And luckily I made I have a lot of scraps here to make another one. So, all right, take 2, everyone. Oh, that's funny. All right, now I'm like, okay, I got this. Just blabbing on more art. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So going in with my glue one more time with feeling. I'm gonna do blue and red. Okay, but still gotta go in and add some layers. Excellent. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Number 2. All right. You know, and sometimes when we create a little collage that we're thinking, oh, I'm gonna send this off to somebody else, and then we finish it and we're like, you know what, I kind of really like this. Maybe I want to keep it. And that is totally okay. If you end up making your collage and it brings you some joy, then you can send a postcard to yourself, especially a little postcard of gratitude and being like, hey, wasn't the easiest day, but you tried. And I know that can sound a little weird, sending a letter to yourself, but we got to thank ourselves too sometimes for showing up and doing what we got to do, you know? So it also saves you on postage, you know? There you go. All right, I got just another few corners to do. And one more corner, and then I'm gonna add my wolf. So I'm doing this kind of pitchy patchy thing. Whoop. Okay, so I've got it on the right side. Keep this one ready for my message. And then I'm gonna put my wolf in here somehow. I might use scissors. Yeah, I love this wolf. How to cut him out. Okay. One thing I will say before I forget, don't forget to rinse out your paintbrush. I forgot last time. I had to throw it out. So we want to avoid throwing out as many things as possible. The whole idea of scrap of the month is really to just reuse everything that we got. You know, we have so much stuff. So we want to be kind to the earth, be kind to our wallets, and just get creative and avoid throwing things out. So I'm just going off. You might notice if you've joined me in making your own glue, it's a little thicker, so it has this kind of flowery texture. I quite like it. I don't know, it adds like a little texture. But yeah, just if you're expecting it to be exactly like white glue, it won't be exactly like that. So just FYI, I've got my, try not to glue it to the table. So I've added my wolf to this kind of, collage of blue and pinkish red. So if you see here, you can actually see it quite clearly on the other side. Ooh, I've got some glue there. That's not the end of the world. But I'm just gonna go in and cut over. If you wanna wait till it's completely dry, it'll be a little bit easier to do it that way. But I'm gonna try now because we're here together right now. So I'm gonna look on this side because I can just see really well what needs to be cut. Dun, dun, dun. And just going in to get that nice finish. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I've got my postcard. I'm going to just kind of remove some of the glue that I got here because I was making a beautiful mess. A most beautiful mess. Okay. I don't have a rag, so I'm going to use this piece just to get this a little bit drier. Okay. Okay. So this side is going to be drying. I'm just going to show you, and you can do this now, but I wouldn't necessarily put your collage down on the ground to start drying because it might just stick to your table or whatever you're using. So I'll just show you to make it look like an official postcard. All right, I've got my Sharpie. You can use a pen, and I'm just gonna do a line right down the middle. I'm gonna, as best as I can, like this. You can whistle if you want. All right, and that's just gonna divide my postcard in half. It's funny how I don't send that much actual mail anymore, so I'm like remembering, okay, how do I do this? So typically a postcard, you have one side is going to be your note or your drawing if you just want to send out a drawing to somebody, and then the other side is going to be the address, so where that person lives, and make sure to leave room for a stamp. So I'll actually just make a little stamp here. Canada Post won't actually accept my doodle of a stamp, but just so I remember to put it out there because I got like a beautiful postcard somewhere, and then I wrote this amazing message, and I was so excited, and I totally forgot to leave room for the person here. So that was a bit unfortunate, but these things happen. So I'm gonna leave, this space here. If ever you're like, I'm not feeling this cardboard look, or this sort of beautiful brown here, you can always get a piece of paper. Ugh. I gotta reach. Oh, my hands are all floury. The fun part about making your own glue. So if you get a white piece of paper, and you can always just trace out the exact size. The exact size of your postcard. Just trace it, cut it out, and then you can glue it onto your postcard if you want to have that look. I wouldn't suggest it if you're doing the homemade glue like me, because it might get a little bumpy. That looks doable. So I like the cardboard look. I like that it's a scrap and that I'm reusing things that I would have, put into the recycling or garbage. So yeah, there's my little postcard. All right. And it's interesting looking at it, and especially this wolf, and thinking of who I want to send this out to, and what I want to write to them. I got a little bit of space, so I could definitely write a decent message. Trying not to focus too much on my grammar, but just getting the message across. So it's gonna take a little bit of time to dry. If you've got a letter, if you're super inspired right now to write your letter, but you're like, my postcard is still a little bit wet and I don't want to write it, just do a draft on another scrap piece of paper, and then you can put it onto your postcard when it is dry. If you really enjoy making postcards, the Lennoxville Library is doing what's it called? The Postcards of Solidarity, which is a really beautiful event happening on November 29th at 2:30 p.m. on Zoom, right? And they are creating postcards as well, but they're going to be sending it to residents at Le Renaissance in Lennoxville. So a home for the elderly, and just sharing stories and messages to the folks there. So if you want to join that event, it's going to be awesome. Maite, who's here, is going to be hosting it, and as part of the Lennoxville Library. So I'll just attach that event to this event. Or if Joanna's still here, hello Joanna. If you want to find that on Facebook, it's an event called Postcards of Solidarity, and just another opportunity to join and be part of the wonderful world of postcards. I think they'll be exploring collage as well, but also some different mediums if you want to get exploring on that. And if you want to create just a regular old letter and send it off, and you're wanting a little support, do contact us for that by phone, on Facebook. What else we got? Email. Yeah, email. The other way to send messages along. That's a great way to get in touch. So I've got my postcard, and I also have to clean up. So if you're just you can start cleaning up. If you got a team watching, you can separate the tasks and go for it. Definitely wash your brush if you have made your own glue, and thank you so much for being here. We will be doing a scrap of the month in the month of December. And I'm really excited for that. So you can join us on our Facebook page for that. Oh, that's what I had in the back of my mind. I was like, what else did I want to say? For the Lennoxville Library event, Postcards of Solidarity. If you're not big on Zoom, but you would like to join, you can also contact us or just go to our Facebook page, Literacy in Action. There's this great website that has tutorials on how to join a Zoom, how to do all the things. And what I really love about video and the videos that they've created is that you can just repeat it, watch it and be like, okay, I still don't understand where the link is. I'll watch it again. Okay, it's there. Or if you watched it a couple times and you're like, yo, I don't know where it is. Trust me, we've all been there many times. So you can contact us or just watch those videos. I found them really helpful. And they're on our Facebook page. You just got to scroll down. But I can also put that on here as well. And the Lennoxville Library is also super helpful in helping folks connect to all the online things going on. So I got my postcard. I'm ready to go. I'm going to clean up. And thanks for being here. Send out gratitude with letters or in other ways that you do. So any final questions? Are the people out there? Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you, Joanna. Okay, I did not scroll down. Huh? Okay, I'm having a technology moment. Okay. Oh, Amanda, I love that. Amanda's got Johnny. She's going to send him one to cheer him up. Great idea. Great idea. And I see Joanna has put the event on our the link here as well. So, just thank you guys for being here. It's just really great to keep creating, and it does me a world of good, and I hope it helps as well. So that's my final goodbye. Thank you, Maithy. I enjoyed it as well. Excellent. All right. So long.